Last year, the UK government declared violence against women and girls a national emergency.
Today, this government says no more. We are calling violence against women and girls the national emergency that it is.
Every 3 days in Britain, a woman is murdered. This isn't random. The roots of this violence don't begin in adulthood. They begin much earlier, when boys learn what it means to be a man.
There's obviously things that culturally about being a man that kind of imply that you should be in control.
I said that if a woman is going out with a man, she belongs to that man. That's his woman. So if she wants to do OnlyFans, she owes him some money because she's his.
Actually, isn't very flattering to look out of control, though, and I think that's sometimes missed in the domestic abuse sector. It's okay to be the man about the house, but it's not okay to lose it.
With these behaviours being promoted online, violence against women and girls has increased by 38% in the last 10 years. Now, 1 in 4 women in the UK will experience domestic abuse. But behind every statistic is a person. Rebecca Beattie is a survivor of violence against women who met her abuser when they were just teenagers.
I noticed he was becoming more possessive and jealous, but at the beginning it was always disguised as love. Things were getting a lot worse and the physical violence was getting a lot more frequent. He'd just been particularly violent with me that evening and headbutted me. And I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and said, you have to want more for yourself and you have to want more for your son. And I remember being petrified to tell him, but I knew that I had to, stick to my decision. So I said to him, yes, it's over. And that's when he jumped up and he flew towards me with his hand raised, ready to hit me. And then suddenly there was a real stillness in the room, and he was really calm and composed, and he lowered his hands and he just looked me straight in the eye and said, I will fucking kill you. And that was the most scared that I'd ever been, because I knew that he meant it. And the next night, he came into my home and assaulted me to the point of needing reconstructive surgery.
For Rebecca, and many women like her, the impact of abuse lasts a lifetime. But what if we could stop it before it starts?
Can anyone tell me what's important to have in a relationship? Trust. Really good one. What else? Kindness. Lovely one.
Across the UK, many organisations are working directly with boys and young men to challenge harmful ideas about masculinity before they take root.
We take the approach of focusing first on what do they initially associate with just even the topic of gender, because at the core of it, that's what you're discussing. You're talking about how do you view your own gender, how do you view other people's gender identities, and how do you respond to it. And it's because we want to encourage boys to be able to have the skills to talk about these kind of sensitive and uncomfortable issues first of all. What can they do to address misogyny if they're receiving it or if they're witnessing it? And we find that's a really good way to get boys to feel empowered to have those conversations, because ultimately we want them to be able to talk about this with their friends around them.
If someone has this personal belief, then they're much more likely to kind of turn a blind eye when someone is behaving unhealthily in a relationship. Because
we established with the boys that, look, we want to hear your opinion, we want to understand what you're thinking and sort of guide you, it becomes much more of like a working alliance, like a working partnership. They can see, oh, it's okay if I say something wrong because this person's here to guide me. By the end of it, they're confidently saying like, this is misogyny, that is misogynistic.
So, just as they are learned, these harmful behaviours can also be unlearned. But real prevention takes something much bigger.
It needs to be tackled from all angles at the same time.
Wind up national approach. There's not really any standardisation across the curriculum that schools should use. That means young people having inconsistent education about this.
More about supporting development so that people could learn from each other. It would create a better world.
For some, these conversations come too late. But for others, they might be the difference. Because what we teach boys now will shape what the next generation of women will live with.